Okay, there we're going to learn how to use the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations. Okay, the quadratic formula is just all it is another method used to solve quadratic equations. And we learned one using square roots. Alright, to use the quadratic equation, the equation must be in standard form first. That means ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, a is always the coefficient in front of the x squared, b is always the coefficient of x, and c is always the constant. Okay, and the quadratic formula is just we're going to find x. Okay, so negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Alright, you can stop the video and take notes, but I'm going to move on. Okay, these are the steps to solve the quadratic equation. First, you set the equation equal to 0. You identify the ABC, then you substitute the ABC into the equation using parentheses. You type the equations and you calculate exactly the way you see it. Plus first, and then minus. And then most of the time you will have two different answers. Okay, they're both solutions to the problem. Again, okay, copy if you need to, and then I'll move on to the next part. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, this is how you use the quadratic equation. Okay, first thing you need to do is let it equal to 0. Okay, it's already equal to 0. Okay, so now we have to identify the ABC. So A is equal to 3, B is equal to 4, and C is equal to negative 6. Okay, the next part we're going to do is we're going to use the quadratic equation, quadratic formula. Oops, too much. So the next step is to, now that after we identify, we substitute. Okay, so the way I like to do it is using parentheses. Okay, so x equals, okay, anytime I see a letter, okay, so it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2a. Okay, so first thing we do is substitute b in. B squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 6, okay, over 2a. A is 3. Okay, 4 AC. Okay, just using the formula, we substitute it in. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is use the calculator. So, first thing I do is press Control Divide. I want the top and the bottom, okay? So negative 4. Make sure you use the parentheses, okay? If you use the parentheses, you will not make a mistake, okay? Negative 4 plus the square root of parentheses 4 close parentheses square minus 4 times parentheses over 2, okay, A, and A was 3, okay. So once we do that, we can press, okay, if you notice, I use plus first. Enter. Okay. So we get 0.89. Okay. And I'm going to go up. Okay. Once that is highlighted, I can press enter. That way I can change it. So the only thing I want to change is that I'm going to change that to a minus. Okay, remember there's a plus and there's a minus. Okay, so we have 0.89 and negative 2.2. So x equals 0.89 and negative 2.23. Okay, so the answer is 0.89 and negative 2.23. Okay. Oops. Okay, example 2. Okay, example 2, what we're going to do, okay, the first thing we're going to do is, first step is let x equal to, let the equation equal to 0. So this is a negative 1, so I'm going to add 1. That's not supposed to be there, okay? So I'm going to end up with 2x squared minus 5x, okay, plus 1 equal to 0. So remember our equation, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so that's the quadratic formula right there. First, now we have to do is identify a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 5, c is equal to 1. So x equals, remember I like parentheses, okay, negative b, negative, okay, anywhere there's a letter, I'm going to substitute parentheses for it. That way, all I have to do is substitute the correct letter. So these are b's, so I'll put negative 5, negative 5. Next one is a, which is 2, and then c is 1. 2. Okay. Now I can put it in the calculator. 2, negative 5, 1. Okay. Remember, press Control Divide first to get a top and a bottom. Negative parentheses 2. The first time we do it with a plus. And then square root. Okay, then I'm going to use parentheses again. Alright. B is going to be 2. Is it 2? Wait, sorry. It's 5, not 2. Negative 5, close parentheses, plus the square root of, okay, I'm going to use parentheses, 5 square minus 4. Okay, A is 2. This is a negative 5. A is 1. A is 2. And then C is 1. Over 2 times 2. And just make sure A is 2, negative 5, okay. Press enter. We get 2.28. I'm going to go back. Once I highlight it, I can press enter and it'll type it all in for me. And all I have to change is this part from positive to from a plus to a minus. So we get 2.28 and 0.21 or 22. So my answer is x is equal to 2.28 and or 0.219. Okay. Okay. Example 3. Okay. It's here. It's already equal to 0, so all I have to do is A, B, C. A, B, C. Okay. I'm going to use the formula. Okay. Negative plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C over 2A. I'm going to substitute it in. 4 times 4 times 6 over 2 times 4. Alright, I'm going to put this in the calculator. Okay, so I quickly put it in, okay? But remember, make sure you use the parentheses, okay? So negative 3 plus, okay, plus or minus, but we just use the plus. Okay, 3 squared minus 4AC over 2A. Once we do that, okay, you see it says non-real calculation. Remember, non-real calculation means no solution. Right. What you're going to do now, okay, is you're going to do these on your own. Identify the ABC first, then get your answer. Okay, then last one.